Hey everyone, so I wanted to get into my first real subject on video game music news, starting with Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game is a pretty awesome game. It's out right now on the Switch. I would definitely recommend playing it. It's so fun. It's basically, I was told, like a Grand Theft Auto, but you're a goose, in the sense that your purpose is to try and annoy everyone that you see. I mean, I guess in Grand Theft Auto, your idea is to really steal everything and kill everyone. I guess it all depends, but really, it's kind of the same premise where you go around annoying people, or you go around being a bad person, so to speak. But you're a goose, and so no one can really hurt you. And so because of it, you have this kind of unfeathered access to just continuously bother people, and it's so hilarious. It's so fun. But with that being said, the case, I was looking into like who created the music and why they decided to go that route. And it was kind of interesting. If you have heard of the music, it's pretty awesome. It's basically like piano music, or solely based on classical piano pieces. And in particular, it derives a lot of its soundtrack from Debussy's preludes. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Claude Debussy. I've heard of him very scarcely. It's not like I know these type of people that much. That's why I'm learning myself. But Claude Debussy is a French composer. He's actually very, very, very influential. If you are into classical music and are in that genre, you would probably have already heard his name, and he's considered a goat, so to speak, in that field. He's more from the 1800s time frame as far as when he played and when he was alive, and so it definitely is kind of interesting to have that type of music into Goose Game in particular. But it was actually kind of interesting. As I was looking here on The Verge, which actually covered the article here about this, it was interesting because the studio didn't even think about actually having music in the game until the trailer was released. And you would think something like that would be ingrained in the game. You would think something like this would be already planned from before the game was made. But it's funny how, as time goes on, they thought of this, and it was kind of just put together with Dan Golding. And it's pretty awesome. Dan Golding, who is the actual composer for this game and for another game a couple years ago called Push Me Pull You, had decided to use Debussy's type of music, or rather classical piano scores, to really accentuate when the goose moves in Untitled Goose Game. It's actually, I figured, the best part of when you're like poking around or when you're playing around with the goose, and you walk up slowly to a person to kind of annoy them or to kind of steal something, and the piano music kind of goes along with you. I think that was a genius play. It's funny because of the fact that they didn't actually plan that from the beginning. It's actually funny, from what it seems here, it actually was because of a commentator who actually thought that it would be great to have the music be situational and be aware. And so because of it, they were listening to what people had to say and decided to actually change the game for the better. I honestly think that because of this type of influence, where they were able to put out a little bit of their content so that people can correct it and then they can change it, this helped them to make a way better game. I'm not saying Goose Game would be a bad game if it had no music, but I definitely think that it pushed it over the top to be extremely memorable and to be a featured game. Like, if the game was just without music and you just played it, I think people would like it. Yeah, I think I still would like it, but I wouldn't think that, I don't think I'd pick it up. Maybe. I think I may watch someone else play it, and that's about it. I don't know. The music just kind of went along with what you would need to feel comfortable continuing to play it. It felt very natural to be there. And that's what they kind of did. As you see, they made it very situationally aware. I thought that was pretty interesting to pass along here. And like I said, if you haven't played the game, you should definitely play the game. You'll at least know what I'm talking about. You'll at least know what type of classical piano music that they kind of have to run through this game. If you haven't gotten this game already, I would definitely recommend getting this game. It's, I think, $15 right now on the eShop on sale, but I think at its base price, it's $20, which isn't bad. The game is about 3-4 hours, I would say, to beat it, at least through the first run through. And then, of course, they have like a new game plus, and you can do some extra stuff there. But I would say about the game's about 3 to 5 hours, and it's all enjoyable. All enjoyable. And so, yeah, I would definitely say take a look at that game. All right, so I think that'll do it for this section of some video game music news. I hope to keep talking about this maybe once a day, maybe once every other day. We'll see how it goes. But keep me informed, everyone. Tell me what you would like me to talk about. Tell me what new games you would like me to talk about. Tell me what type of new video game music. If you know of any that's coming out, just keep me informed and we'll talk about it together. Other than that, have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.